a report on our martial arts good for kids to learn, and I was thinking if you could give me some tips or not.
Definitely.
Alright, so let's start.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
What do you think martial arts? Do you think martial arts are good for kids to learn?
I think martial arts is one of the activities that all kids should learn, right? For a few reasons. One, it develops kids' confidence. Confidence is very important in life nowadays as it helps you want to try new things. It helps you from bullies not wanting to pick on you, right? Another good thing about martial arts is about teaching about focus and concentration, which helps you study better in school, help you focus on other activities that you may have in other sports and other areas. And more importantly than all those things, martial arts teaches about respect. Not just learning to respect yourself, but respect other people and other things in this world, like even like animals and plants and life, right? So it's very important to learn those values that martial arts is here to teach you.
What are some downsides of martial arts you can think of?
Downsides to martial arts. I'm very biased. I actually don't think there's any downsides to martial arts. The only downsides to martial arts is when you join a school that is more focused on trying to grow the business to make a lot of money. And then what happens is they forget about learning and teaching the values that martial arts provides for kids when it becomes too much of a business and not more of a martial arts. So I think that's the only downside, that martial arts becomes so accessible that everyone's opening them up, and then they lose the sight of what the real martial arts is supposed to be about. So you get some bad schools out there, but you also get some really good schools out there. And it's very important that parents ask a lot of questions so they learn if that's a good school for their child or not.
Okay.
Good question.
One of mine was I was thinking like what if like other people use martial arts for wrong?
You mean like use it for being bullying or being aggressive? Yeah, that's a very good question. Sometimes, not my experience that I find, when people learn martial arts, the purpose of learning martial arts is back to those things about respect. Sometimes bullies start martial arts and also they don't become bullies anymore because also they learn about compassion, about empathy. They learn about putting themselves in other people's shoes and how other people feel. And they stop picking on other people. And more importantly, when bullies pick on people, it's usually because they feel bad about themselves, right? When you feel better about yourself and build your confidence, you don't need to do those type of negative behavior or those negative things, right?
So, does martial arts help with studying, like math and?
Well, there is no real correlation or studies or scientific proof behind it, but in my experience, I would say yes. Because what happens is when a child is more confident and able to focus more in class, they're not afraid to raise their hand and answer a question. And if they get it wrong, it's okay. They have the confidence that, oh, I got it wrong. They look up the answer and then they're able to learn and go forward from there. And more importantly, it helps them concentrate a lot more. I know a lot of kids nowadays are playing video games on devices. Their attention span is very small. So with martial arts, it helps you to focus in one area for a very long time, which is back to a little bit of a disciplining, right? Having discipline in your everyday activities, discipline in your training, discipline in your studies, right?
Okay. What age do you think it's good enough to start martial arts?
I see. We start as MS3. We do an assessment. I think as long as a child can follow along with the lesson, it's not too distracting, they can definitely start martial arts, right? So we usually start at 3 years old for an assessment. Anybody younger than that, we sometimes ask them to wait a few more months before they can start.
I read it on a site that an age of 6 is good because at that point kids have enough like muscle strength to be able to punch, jump, and turn safely.
Yeah, that's probably a very good point. When kids are a little bit older, obviously they're always going to be stronger, a little more focused, a little more mature, right? But usually around 3 to 4 or 5 years old, what they focus on is right now those kids at that age, they're a little bit uncoordinated, they're starting to learn about their bodies a little bit, so we help them a lot with balance drills, coordination drills, so that when they get to 6 to 7 years old and a little bit more mature and more focused, they're able to do the techniques that we're going to be teaching. So yeah, I would agree with that. About 6 or 7 years old is a good age because they're a little bit stronger and they're a little bit more mature. But you can start them a little bit younger, in my opinion, because I've seen very strong and talented 4 or 5-year-olds too, physically in a sense.
How does what do martial arts mean to you?
Martial arts means to me? That's a very good question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that much anymore. I've been doing it for so long. Martial arts to me is like breathing now. It's just a part of who I am. I wake up, I'm a martial artist. Everything I do, everything I live for is basically being a martial artist. Because I get to stay healthy and active. I get to have a positive influence on a lot of people's lives. It gives me a platform to spread a positive message to many people. And more importantly, it's very rewarding because I get to see the benefits and the changes that I have in all these children that I have a chance to work with. I don't know if I answered your question, but...
It's good enough.
Good enough? Okay.
So is there anything else you would like to add to this?
You know, you've asked a lot of very interesting and very good questions. I think you covered a lot of it. If I was to add anything to it, I would say a lot of times people think martial arts is very physical, right? Kicking and punching, push-ups and sit-ups. And it goes to that phrase you hear a lot of mind, body, and soul, or mental, physical, emotional. And I think martial arts is good because it covers those things, where physically, which is your body, it teaches you how to be strong. Mentally, or your mind, it teaches you how to be focused, how to be sharp. And in your soul, it teaches you about respect, how to be a good person, right? So I think the good thing about martial arts, it covers a wide range of everything you need to know to be, I guess, a good person in society, in your life, right? And that's why you hear a lot of that phrase is like your body, mind, and soul. Got to make sure all those 3 things are strong, or connected, or balanced is another word.
Advice for anyone who wants to start martial arts?
Yes, I would say, back to what I mentioned before, is to find a good martial arts school that is fun for you, that matches your family values, because every family is different, not every family is the same. What matches your family values, and find a really good instructor out there that's going to be working with you, right? That really understands you. Like me, oh yeah, thank you. So that would be my message for anybody who wants to start martial arts, and don't be afraid to try, because most martial arts schools out there are very patient and will take the time to help you progress through their school.
So everyone who's watching this show.
Yeah, please send